if I'd had to choose one person to do this with, I think it would definitely have been him. We know each other, I think, pretty well as friends, and we've run a lot of times together. One particular race that I really appreciated, where he supported me a huge amount, was at the end of the Ironman last year in Melbourne. It was an amazing feeling and a big help, especially after 10, 11 hours of doing all this crazy stuff I was doing. To have a really good friend there just running with me at my side, even if we weren't really talking very much, it was still just nice to have that little chappy next to me. So I really appreciated that, and I think based on that, I knew that Run Wisla, we could do this together and we could hopefully make a good team. But you always find out different things and new things about that person. And, for me, it was interesting to see how we dealt with difficult situations. So, for example, Andy, when we were coming into Warsaw, poor guy was really struggling, was really fighting through. I remember one particular moment as we came into Kazimierz Dolny. Actually, we'd been running really well that day. It had been like one of our best days of running, I think, up to that point. We got to the last 5 kilometers or something, and he started having a lot of pain. I think in his calf or somewhere. So, my first reaction when I see someone like that is, or in that kind of situations, I really want to help them. Especially someone you know really well and you get on so well with. But I could tell at that moment that he didn't really, he wanted to deal with it, I think, by himself. He kind of closed off from the outside a little bit and tried to fight through by himself. And I kind of understood somehow that if I'd have been there bouncing along next to him saying, "Come on Andy, it's only a few kilometres, nearly there," or "Look at these beautiful views, isn't it incredible around here," or something like that, it would have really annoyed him. And as much as I did really want to help him, I knew I had to stay, just give him a little bit of that space. But that was just the way he dealt with these things. And, particularly interesting because I deal with it quite differently. There were 2 particular times when I was struggling quite badly. First one was coming into Torun. That section from Warsaw to Torun was tough. There were 5 long days, and it was quite painful. But coming into Torun itself, the last few kilometers, things got really bad. Like my shin, it was at the time, my right shin. I really felt a lot of pain. Like every step was painful. Quite often when we had minor niggles, we talk about our injuries and say, "Oh, where's it hurt today? Oh, it's moved to that point. Oh, that's interesting. Well, with me, it's my right leg now, and that's the left, or whatever." So it was during the Olympics, and exactly at that moment, the Olympic triathlon was going on in Rio. So he was giving me updates on how the triathlon was going, and just 1 kilometre to go, he told me that actually the British, we come first and second, the Brownie brothers, Alistair and Johnny. And generally he was just there to talk to me. He even took the camera that I was carrying at one point and took some films. So he helped me take my mind off the pain just to get through to Torun itself. And then we had a rest day there, physio, and I knew after once it got past Torun, then things would be a bit easier. And then the second time, as you well know, Patricia, was the penultimate day. There's a town called Gniew. We'd been running great that morning with the kids guys from Opalenia. We had a group of about 20 people with us. It felt amazing. It was a cool day, perfect for running. I felt a little bit of a twinge in my left heel, I think, or lower calf, maybe Achilles even. As I was coming into Gniew, which was our first checkpoint, we had a bit of a break. It started raining, so it hid in the car for a little bit. And then I tried to go. And I remember walking up that hill and thinking, my leg feels really bad. Okay, get to the top and I'll try running. I'm sure it'll be okay. We got to this castle in Gniew, which is a beautiful little castle actually. It's really nice. We walked through the square of the castle. We took a picture there even. Okay, got to the top of the hill. Let's try running. And I'm like, couldn't run. I'd run 50 meters and think, I can't do this. Try stretching it. Try walking a bit. Walking also hurt. So what can I do? Mentally it was funny because I wasn't thinking that at this point that I wasn't going to finish. I knew somehow I'd get to the end, even if I walked. We only had like 60k to go, and overall it's nothing compared to what we'd done. It's frustrating that we were so close and I couldn't run. So I called the physio. I called Wojciech. Wojciech was amazing. Thank you, Wojciech, for everything. I said, look, I've explained what it was, where the pain was, and he said, okay, what you need to do is you need to massage this point. I had the pain roughly, I don't know if you can see it on here, roughly in my bottom calf, something around here. And he said you need to massage like along this line, all the way up, kind of underneath the shin, as far as it would go up here. So he explained it on the phone, and he also, which is the most incredible thing about this, he made a video where he showed Andy what to do on his wife. On the video you can hear his wife screaming as his thumb's going along her leg. So, okay, we met up with Asher again, she drove back, so I sat in the back of the car, and Andy got his thumb out and started massaging me along that line. It's got to be one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. It's hell. But, as painful as it was, you could feel it was helping. Or at least I was convinced it was helping. So, like, okay, I was screaming in the back of this car. But in a way, I didn't mind it because I knew it was going to do good. I think Andy was probably more concerned about what was going on than I was, but it helped. And from that point, bit by bit, I was able to run more and more. And yeah, when I saw the guys at the next checkpoint, I was running again. And it's like such a euphoric moment to have that, having an hour or two ago, I was feeling like I probably couldn't run and we'd have to stop early and everything. Maybe do an extra day or something, right? To be able to be back running, having gone through that pain was an incredible thing. And Andy was there with me the whole time, not just physically supporting me, but also just talking to me and giving me updates on Facebook and telling me things that were going on and stuff. Generally taking my mind off it, but like I said, the mind wasn't the big issue there. It was just nice not to have to deal with it by myself.